Happy Wednesday, y'all. TK Trinidad here. We are going to be watching Total Divas. That's right. Total Divas rewatch. And it's not just me. Ronnie's in the building. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Ask me what I'm doing right this second.
What are you doing right this second?
Right this second? You want to know? You want to know? I mean, I'm excited about Total Divas. Yes. You do want to know. Trust me. I'm watching us also on my Twitch. So I made sure we didn't just do your amazing brand, but I also threw it on my Twitch also. And maybe YouTube. It's like we just can't be contained. I'm excited to be back with you. Yeah.
We're everywhere, all the things. So it's been a minute, and we're also going to, for those who are watching, we have Bianca's show as well. So we're going to be covering that in the near future. But yeah, a lot of things are happening, more shows, more people, etc., etc., etc. And it's so apropos because, you know, the last time we talked, Trinity has out since now gone back to WWE, so she's with WWE again. There's just so many things that are happening and transpiring with all the divas. And let us know in the chat who. I mean, there should be a new version of the Divas. I mean, the show is so iconic, but there should be like different variations. There's so many new superstars, you know, here at WWE. So let us know in the chat who you would think the next version of the Divas would be.
Do you think you reboot it as also Total Divas, or you do the concept and you change the name? That's a good question.
Well, I mean, I know some women had an issue with the word diva. I like diva, so I don't know. It depends on the era. That's a producer call, and I mean, if they want to hire me on as a producer, then I'll put some more thought into it. But at this moment, I would do divas. But let's get.
We've done 5 episodes so far, and this will be the 6th. Let's watch it and remind me when we get back here. The watch along. I have something I want to tell you about Trinity in terms of my fascination and really enjoying her. But that's coming up. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into it. Here we are.
Wow.
Dang.
Okay, episode 6 did not disappoint, and the teaser for episode 7 was like, what's going to happen? Can I tell you something real quick?
Sure.
What made me think of Trinity? This is unrelated, but it is in reality TV space. Okay. So the other day I was doing an episode on my, my channel and stuff, and it was this big reality show called The Traitors is out, and I wanted to do a who would be a perfect casting, like, to cast the season 3. And one of my choices was Trinity because, you're going through this variety. But I was like, it was funny because outside of doing this with you, this watch along, I didn't even know Trinity a couple months ago. And the fact that we're doing this watch along for Total Divas, now I'm like, put her in all the shows. So you said she's now back in WWE again?
Yeah, so she's out of WWE. She was at TNA. So shout out to TNA. She had a great run there, and now she's back in WWE. So congratulations. She's, man, so many good things. So congratulations.
Yeah. I'm just saying these are people that I had not watched the original series. So now that I'm watching it, I'm like super pumped and hyped for all of them. What an episode for Natty. I just thought it was her episode. Question though, I don't think she was really that much entertaining that other guy, although he did like check a lot of boxes for what in theory would be perfect. I think she was just having a commitment issue. Like it was always TJ, right?
Well, yeah, because it gives me very much like I feel like the era of the Total Divas was around the time where shows were getting a little bit more on the scripted side. Like reality TV was getting a little bit more on the scripted side where they're kind of feeding things to kind of create the story. I just don't like, I feel like they might have had her play up a little bit more than what it really is, because Natty doesn't seem like that type of person. And like, just also in real life, like this is going to air. And TJ doesn't seem like that guy that's going to be like, oh man, I'm glad you picked me. Like, I feel like that would have really been some damage if it like like real life, that was like a thing.
You're right. Definitely played up, because why was it in one sitting she was like, oh, we can't go to Vegas strip club, or whatever, because like, oh, that's not appropriate. TJ's not going to want to, to know that that's what I'm doing. But on the same episode, oh, but I'm thinking about this guy from back home. Like, he wants to work me out. He wants to make me sweat. Like, you're right. It was definitely drummed up a little bit. But anytime we get to see her, she's just so cute and adorable to me, and she is, I think, the oldest one on the group, right? So I don't know, there's something about her that I just I just really like her.
Same. Yeah, it was a great episode. I mean, Total Divas doesn't disappoint, but I definitely think in the era that we're in, or if AEW takes advantage of that kind of storyline, creates something along that line. I mean, there are a lot of different spin-off shows. Taya and Johnny have one. So yeah, it's just, I would love to see a version of some type of version of it. There's more than enough female wrestlers to go around to create some type of show. Now that I say that, I mean, I am a producer, so
I was gonna say, like,
babe,
let's get the check going to you.
That part. So
I'll work for your production, okay? I can produce, What was your thoughts on JoJo's naiveness towards that guy? Because it felt like he wasn't doing anything wrong. In fairness, he was not. He was more like, we're just having fun. She thought it was a bigger thing, but
we're always like, it's I've been in those scenarios too, but it's a combination of you kind of learning about yourself, knowing what your self-worth is, and knowing what your boundaries are, and you have to experience all those things. Not all of us is as lucky as TJ and Natty to just like find each other in high school, and like here we are. So you have to kind of go through those things to kind of know your self-worth and what you're willing and not willing to do, and then learn things, because technically they weren't together. So he could do whatever he wants.
I mean, they made out, they went on one date. But that's like, that don't mean nothing really.
Right. Yeah. But it means a lot when, this is, I think the guy before was like her first boyfriend.
Okay.
So now it's kind of like, there's just a lot of things at play. And I definitely, and she handled it right, meaning that, it could have went totally left and she could like cuss them out in the could have went up to him, or it could have went so she handled it in a very, mature way. Like, she self-vented to between her and Eva, and, you handle it that way. But again, all those emotions, I mean, again, if somebody's lucky enough that they didn't have to deal with that, then great. But I've been through all, like, I know exactly what you're saying. But again, when you get older and you experience things and you get mature, and that stuff is like, okay, you want to, all right, cool, like, do you, boo boo. I'm good. I know my worth, and it is what
I think you mentioned when we were doing the watch along here on season 1, episode 6 of Total Divas, that, like, I think you stated this, something like, it was really cool to see Eva so supportive, like very like supportive, but also like cautious, because she knew what JoJo might have went through, and that's the thing that makes this show. And I think you alluded to it a second ago. It's like, it was of the time where reality started getting more scripted. There's certain elements of this show. I think I said it when we were watching here. I loved seeing the camaraderie, which is so funny, because when I think of current reality TV, which I watch a lot of it, the group settings are usually, to me, some of the more boring episodes, because it's just so put on. It's like, you knew, like, everyone was just like placed in a room, and it's like, go at it, and it just doesn't even feel the same. Whereas watching this so many years ago, the series came out a long time ago, and Boone and Murray, the E Channel, when the E Channel was like, Kardashian mania, it like, to me, felt really good. I really liked seeing the bond with each of them. What did you think about, last two things, what did you think about the co-ed bachelor party, but then also, how about Vincent, Ariane's boyfriend, who decided to just show up? Like, was he romantic, or was he the most?
I mean, he's been at other events before, and so it's not like he's just a new boyfriend. As you can tell, everybody was kind of familiar with who he is. because he's been backstage, etc. So I mean, there's that exception there, and you know, if everybody else has their boyfriends, significant others there, then you know, why not? As far as the co-ed thing, yeah, no, I mean, the funny thing is they didn't show what the guys did. If you picked up,
right, yeah,
and it might have been they did nothing and they just went to their hotel rooms. Who knows?
I don't
But
think. I think they
but
all
yeah,
had fun. I think the
yeah,
girls had fun and the guys had fun. I think they all
yeah.
had
I
fun.
don't know. I mean, I guess I am definitely a proponent of bringing the sand to the beach. I'm not the type of person who like leaves. Like I always try to care like bring my boyfriend with me. So it's just kind of like I get it, but in this scenario, if I were to have a bachelorette party, like I wouldn't want to. It depends. I think it depends on the people. I think because it was co-ed, the likelihood, or even if they did it separately, the likelihood of them doing like crazy things or having like crazy friends who are like, oh, we're gonna, you know, hangover, you know, part 2 or whatever, then I'd be like, you know what, your friends are crazy and I don't want to witness anything. And I am going to just assume you guys are singing church hymns and just go with God. But
Yeah.
if like his friends are boring and not boring, but they're, you know, pretty like safe, they're, you know, they're not going to do anything crazy, then I wouldn't mind having a bachelorette party. However, my friends are a little bit on the crazy side. So it's just like, I don't have to be like answering to, because, you know, I don't want to have to sneak into my room at 2 a.m. Like, I just want to be able to pass out with and change into my inside bedroom clothes because I am not passing out with my outside clothes and my shoes.
Yeah, people were doing that on this episode.
They do it. It's actually, it's very, I've noticed it through like television and commercials and stuff like that. I guess. I mean, I realize that everybody doesn't do the same thing, but that's like a super pet peeve of mine. I'm just like, you're just really laying in bed with your sneakers on. This is what we're
What
doing.
about,
Like,
so you obviously don't do shoes in the house either?
absolutely not.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so we saw it. We also saw Brie mode, which was fun. And you know what's so interesting is the Palms Hotel, like it looks so lavish on TV, but it's a really small hotel. And then it also made me think Boona Murray, who produced The Real World, they had those epic real
That's
world.
what I thought of too. Yeah, that's what Palms was like popping.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to go to Palms so like because I saw it on all the reality shows, and then when I got there, I'm like, oh, okay.
Really, yeah, even the bar that they were upstairs and you could like see, like you look through the glass or whatever, like it looks so, it visually on camera it looks really great for a reality show. But you're right, it's a little bit of a smaller hotel. I mean, it's nice, definitely nice, but
I mean,
it made me think of that.
Vegas. Like Vegas is, it's kind of one of those things where you go, but it's going to be a blur, so it doesn't kind of matter. Although the Bellagio, they have some really nice paintings and ceilings and stuff like that. But it's kind of one of those things like it's in certain places there's just so much to take in that it's overwhelming. And then there's certain places you go to, you're just like, oh, this is underwhelming, but I'm going to be drinking and gambling. So does it really matter what's around me as long as it's clean? Like, so it's kind of like,
if you have a good group, I thought of that with JoJo not being able to drink. It's like when you have a good group, you still could have fun despite whatever the circumstances are. And one last thing, and I know we got to wrap here. In terms of, we talked about the husbands or fiancés or boyfriends, you know, coming. One good thing is a lot of them are also within the WWE, the wrestling world. So there is sort of what made Vincent a little bit different, I guess, is there, you know, you have to carry yourself with a certain, you know, just a certain way, because at the end of the day, it is real and it is reality TV. But like those cast members, because they are friends and they are, you know, actual wrestlers, but they're all representing a brand. And I thought that was one of the things that makes it like, okay, you knew everyone was going to have fun and turn up, but you just, you know, to certain limits, you know, not everyone was going to be Brie mode. Oh, I haven't been in Brie mode in a while. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you kind of retire from that after a certain I mean, I wouldn't mind, but it's kind of actually, you know what? No, because I do like a mid when I do carnival. I definitely do drink. But yeah, I actually, yeah, it's been a handful of times because I'm always the designated driver, or I'm always the one who like is very cognizant of know, my surroundings, because you just create. So I'm always like that person, because you know, you just never know. Like I just never. I don't know. That's a whole nother topic in itself, but definitely.
Well, I enjoyed. Yeah, I enjoyed vicariously living through because we've had, you know, in terms of my age, you know, over 40 years old, I've had my nights, you know, I've had my Vegas moments, you know. So watching it, half of me was like, oh, I want to go, but then I'm like, okay, you've had fun. So watching them have fun, like it just was a fun watch along that we did here for Total
like
Divas.
When you have that type of fun is when you I think I say this often, when you have that type of fun is when you're not worried about your taxes. And not when I mean not worried about your taxes is like you're not like thinking about things that you can write off, or thinking about like, you know, taxes for like businesses or work or career, or, you know, buying houses or property. Like I feel like when that's not in play, then it's a lot easier to go Brie mode, because it's just like, like, you know, I'll spend. And the great thing about being a female is like you can literally just go anywhere and not spend money, which is great. I think I saw a meme where it's like, you know, you're two hot girls and you're headed to the club, and between the two of you, you have $20, but you manage to get drunk every single time. Yeah, I think that. I think of that. You know, you can drop $5,000 on bottle service, or you can put that $5,000 away and get an investment property.
Yeah,
that's kind of when Brie mode is more like far and few between. Like,
well, it was fun. It was fun watching them have fun. Yes,
very
indeed.
true. Very true.
Well, that's all I got.
I like it. With that being said, where can everybody find you?
randomlyronniejr.com. The YouTube is either Hey Ronnie Jr. or Randomly Ronnie Jr. also. Yeah.
There it is. And you guys can find me everywhere at TK Trinidad. And then make sure you check out Women's Wrestling Talk on all things. You know, we're obviously bringing back our rewatch in 2024. It's been a minute, so thank you guys for hanging in with us. We have a couple other shows that we're going to be launching in the next couple of weeks. We have a lot of interviews that we're going to be dropping. So thank you guys for hanging us. We just hit 15K on YouTube. So thank you to all our YouTube subscribers for being there for day one.
Send a couple my way.
Yeah, and then make sure you go and check out Ronnie on his YouTube page.
I'm the one who, let me tell you something. If Traders listens to what I said, which was my casting idea, you know, Traders is one of the biggest reality shows today. And I said, I named a bunch of people, but one of them was Trinity. Imagine, TK, come with me on this. Again, the producer and us. Imagine if Trinity gets casted for season 3 on Traders, and it becomes such a moment, and you will know it started right here on, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I gotta go. I gotta go.
I mean, clip it, put it out there, so then, you know, somebody can re-find it. With that being said, thank you guys so much for joining us. Till next week. Make sure you check out our WoW post show, which happened earlier today. So if you're interested in WoW, a lot of changes happened with that. And our news show, which also happened today too. So a lot of content to catch up with. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Till next time, guys. Ciao.
What is poppin', you beautiful humans? It's your girl, Ariane Andrew, and you are watching Women's Wrestling Talk.